Hey, Mark, fake banter for the intro.
That's all I know how to do.
Great.
Good to be here.
Welcome to Tuesdays with
Stories.
Hit her in the face with a surfboard.
And then the duck fell out of his bag.
Surf's up. And she didn't even flush.
Knock, knock.
Who's there? Mark Norman and Joe List.
Yeah! This is Tuesdays with Stories, everybody.
Nah, that's terrible.
This is supposed to be cheesy.
My radio is spitting at me.
Hello, everybody. Wow, how about this? Oh, let's open this up a little bit.
Yeah.
We got the mountains in the background.
The Santa Ana winds are blowing, baby.
The mountains win again.
Look at that.
How
boy.
about this? This is the coolest recording spot we've ever done.
Probably. We're about a mile away from a giant mountain kissing the sky. The clouds are just nicking the nipple of that puppy.
I'm moving. This is what we've been discussing. I'm going to move across from you. This is how I sit in the office with Alan.
There you go.
This is what it's like.
Wow.
Just like this.
All right.
We're in Santa Ana. Well, we got to stop saying that, I guess. We're in Bernalillo or something like that.
Bernalillo.
We're in Bernalillo, but we're on a reservation called Santa Ana Reservation.
Oh, is that right?
And we're outside of Albuquerque, New Mexico. We're recording the podcast on location
Yeah, in
Mark's hotel room.
Can you say Adobe?
Adobe?
What's that from?
Oh, I don't know.
That's Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Oh.
He visits the Alamo.
I thought you were asking me if I can say it's a difficult word.
Nah, easy word. It's a kind of clay, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's red.
Yeah, like the people.
Well, we walked to Starbucks this morning, which was a 3-hour hike. You can't even see it out the window. We're on the 7th floor here.
A 3-hour hike.
It was long.
Yeah, and arduous.
But we went to Starbucks, and we were talking about how I love the Southwest, the mountain, and this is spectacular here, this view. And the Native Americans and the mountains and the Grand Canyon, all that stuff. But I'm more of a Northeast, Northwest outdoors hiker guy. I like the green. I like the huge pine trees and the moisture, and I even prefer the animals. You got rattlesnakes and mountain lions here.
Oh, yeah.
But up north, you got, black bears and grizzlies and squirrels, rabbits.
You like some fur on your animal. You want a fluffy little bitch.
That's a good way to put it. Because even the forest feels furry.
Yes.
And it feels like it harvests life. This feels like death to me.
Also, it's scorpions and beetles and lizards. Yeah, it's no fun. It's all this bad atmosphere.
Good band names. Scorpions, the Beatles. Yeah.
You know why? Because they got to live in harsh elements.
Are there any bands from the woods?
Well,
animals?
you got the more sports teams. The bears and the tigers
Lions.
and the lions.
Yeah.
And oh my.
But I don't get me wrong. Now, don't write at me and be upset. I do love the Southwest. I do love the prairies and the wide open, the mountains in the background. Those are cool. I just prefer Oregon, Maine, Washington, New Hampshire, Vermont. I like that. I like green. This is all yellow and
it's warm colors and it's dry. It's just dusty, sandy clit.
Yeah, it's the kind of thing. Did we talk about this recently? Was it you and I or someone else? I forget who it was. I'll think of it later. I don't want to sit here and think about it. But isn't it weird when you can't understand people not liking the same thing as you?
I don't have that.
But don't you think we agree? We're like, how is this? Don't you think this is so much better? I mean, so much the green would be so much better. So you agree, but isn't it weird to be like, how do you like that better? It's dry and dead and yellow.
But I think that's the spice of life. Otherwise, you wouldn't have gays and people who are into Asian women. You need good to have differences.
I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying sometimes like people that think Casino is better than Goodfellas.
Oh,
doesn't that blow your mind?
That is
where you're like, what?
And then Party goes, are you fucking with me? Are you just trying to be different,
right.
you kook?
Or people are like, the Stones. I never got. I don't like that. You're like, you don't like the Stones,
right?
Doesn't that don't you find it mystifying sometimes?
Yes.
People are like, I don't like music.
Yeah.
You're like, I don't understand you. Or like chicken pie. People, every once in a while you meet someone that's like, I don't like pizza. You're like, you don't like pizza.
Yeah, you don't like ice cream? What's wrong? And your life is worse. How about that? These are some of the great joys. And we've gotten to this about food, about where I'm like, you don't like asparagus or okra or whatever the hell. I don't even know if you do like those. But
asparagus I love now.
But I remember meeting you and being like, you don't like this? You're like, well, and I'm like, you're missing out. You're like, well, I don't like it. How am I missing out?
Right. Good point. But you do see what I mean.
Yeah, I see what you
There's
mean.
things where you're like, what? How do you like that better than that?
It's crazy. Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah, I guess, and it's funny. Like, I'll take a bite of cantaloupe. I don't enjoy cantaloupe, and somebody else take a bite and go, "That's good."
Well, that's an interesting thing with like taste buds. So that's
Taste.
interesting because you're like or sometimes it's texture, a preference. So I guess it's like food. I understand more, but maybe I'm a picky eater, so that's why I understand it more. But some things
maybe.
you're like, I guess some people don't have a sweet tooth. They're like, I don't like sugar. Or you're like, what?
That's interesting. How can you not like a fucking cupcake?
Oh, I love a Cupcake Royale in West Seattle. There's probably a few of them. There's a few in Seattle. Maybe they're all over. I don't know. But they make a mean cupcake.
Okay.
It's insane. I dream about it.
Cupcakes had a resurgence in, I feel like, the late 2010s or whatever. It's just like Cupcake Factory, Magnolias, everything popped up with cupcake, cronut, anal.
Sometimes this food that's so good, I think I could jerk off thinking about it.
Well,
like I think about like the waffle covered in maple syrup with butter as I stare at IHOP out the window.
They call it food porn.
Yeah, I think I could just beat off.
Drizzling, and you see like even like I try not to eat fast food, but those burgers, they look so good in the commercial. It's just stacks of boiling or moist burger meat with that cheese melting on there with the ketchup and the mustard.
No question about it. Well, I'm going to L.A. tomorrow as we record. This is we're pre-recording. And that In-N-Out, it's just so hard to drive by In-N-Out, especially when it's like you don't see it that often. We don't have it there.
Yes, it's special.
But this is distracting. You should. We'll take a photo and post it when the episode comes out. It's just a big mountain.
You feel something. I'm getting an energy from that mountain.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think they're very wise. There's wisdom in its life comes from the mountain. The snow drips down into the water. You drink the water. The clouds become snow, and the snow becomes water, and the water becomes Pepsi. And it's
right. It's magical.
You need it. It is magical. And the mountains moved, and the crusts crumbled, and cookies are tasty.
That's how the cookie crumbles. Then you get that one guy who goes, how could there not be a God when you look out there and see the water turns into a human, which is a fish, which is a faggot or whatever, jeez. But like you can see it right there and it's pretty amazing, but I still go, it's nature and it figured itself out.
Yeah, it happened, but I mean, I'm a spiritual cunt here, but yeah, the God thing, I don't know that somebody made it.
Yeah, also if they made it, why would they make it? We get cancer, we get anal warts, like he invented all that too, I guess.
Really fucked up?
Yeah.
Well, that is like, to me, it's like more so than that. Like you need to have death. You can't have life without death.
Wouldn't that be crowded?
But yeah, it'd be a problem. But I don't get like the pedophiles. You got adults fucking kids. You could have really, that's where I have a trouble. I don't want to get too into religion because one of them we're going to lose people here.
Well,
but I have a hard time with people that are religious or whatever, and they're like, God works in mysterious ways. You're like, that's your reasoning for
a cop out.
A kid getting fucked? Mm-hmm. Where was God? Why wasn't he protecting that child?
Exactly. He gets all the credit. I mean, this has been covered 8 zillion times, but it's like George Carlin's bit. When they make a touchdown, they go, thank God. When they drop the ball, they don't blame him.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Well, also, it's a little bit. So I'm afraid we're better off talking politics than this, but I don't want to lose half the audience. But it's also a thing of like, so God blessed you. He made you get your job, but while you're doing it, he just forgot this kid that's getting fucked in a fucking the side of the highway or whatever.
Right. And
that's crazy. Or like Greg Stone has a bit about it where he was dating a girl. They ended up breaking up because her father was in the World Trade Center, and she's like, God saved my father. And you're like, what an asshole you are. So you're just saying God chose to kill these 3,000 people and saved your dad?
Yeah.
But I understand religion. I mean, I'm a spiritual guy. I read a religious book every day. Mm-hmm. And, I believe in things. So I don't want to shit on people's religion. But those things make it difficult to understand.
Agreed. And I also do want to point out that if you're religious, you tend to be better people. Most people I know who are religious are like nicer, quieter, calmer, not rational, but they're giving and polite and whatnot. And then people who aren't as religious, who are maybe more clear thinking and realistic, are more cunty.
That's true. I'm a very cynical person. Yeah. I mean, religion is also, I like the idea of religion, and I think it has
benefits.
Caused a lot of good. I don't know if I want to say
Yes.
more good than bad, but because you got wars and, again, the
Pedophilia.
cover-ups in that Catholic church there. But this is some heavy stuff we're into here.
Yeah, well, looking at these mountains, it makes you really rethink your anal.
Yeah, it makes you contemplative.
Contum.
Well, we're also just been walking around conversing, so the conversation keeps going into places, and it's one of the fun things of life. Don't you find conversation to be one of the most pleasurable things in life?
I completely agree. It's riveting. It used to be playing on a playground was so fun and all that, but this is really won over everything. When you hit adulthood, I feel like conversation, it gets something going in you. It like gets your goat. You know, you're at a diner, you're really getting somewhere. You don't want to leave.
I know. That's why I want to go to IHOP. I'm like, let's walk over there. We'll sit down. We'll have a waitress. The waitress will be weird and ugly and fat, and we'll shit on her, and then the butter will be too hot. Like, we were at Starbucks, and I was like, right away, I could tell what's happening. They forgot my tea, and then you have that thing, and then we had some rabbit, some toy, a dog, you press, and it jingles everywhere.
Yeah, we're getting laughs in there.
You get into some adventures, which, again, a theory I've talked about. I don't know if I talked about it in the pod. Maybe I did, but when we were younger, I've talked about this a lot because I have this new theory about like a lot of my depression and anxiety is from isolating and being lonely, where when I was younger, I lived with Tom Dustin and E.J. Murphy, and we were together all the time. We ran errands together.
We
would go to the bank together.
Same
We'd go get
here.
a coffee. He's like, I got to go to the DMV. I'm like, I'll come with you.
Right.
And then you just sat and watched TV, like sometimes in silence for hours.
Sure.
And you'd be like, what do you think about this? Like, you're never watching TV with people anymore.
No.
Maybe a big game.
But
or
it's an event.
occasionally, yeah. And it's like, quiet, we're watching the game. Like back then, you'd be like, you flipping through channels. You're like, want to watch this? All right, we'll watch this.
Right.
And that's fun. And occasionally you have it. Sarah and I have, I mean, I'm married to a comic. I have a life partner. So we do it a lot. But even then, it's like, she's got to do some editing and I got to do this and you got to jobs.
Yeah.
There's something fun about just continuous companionship, which
is
is nice
true.
about co-headlining.
Right.
I said that weird. Co-headlining.
Yeah.
A theater.
Yeah, well, you can really get to that because, you know, in the beginning, there's the awkward, like, what's going on with you? How's about that weather? How's your asshole? Whatever. But then when you can really get to that comfortable, you're being exactly yourself, both of you, and it's working.
Right.
There's nothing better.
Yeah, it's special.
It also depends on the person. You talk about how great conversation is, and I agree. But we've all been there where you're like, I've been with this guy 3 days. I can't get 3 words out of this guy. He's a fucking queef. He stinks.
But enough about our parents, folks.
Yes.
But that's also the thing of like, that's what's special about our relationship and relationships in general, because there's only about fucking 20 people that I feel that way with.
Right. Well, 20's pretty good.
Yeah, that's in the world. It's spread out.
Yeah.
But even then, there's like 4 that it's like really great.
Right.
There's a lot that you're like, okay, that's enough of that.
I mean, yeah, just that walk to Starbucks, I felt like that was a humdinger.
Yeah, we should have recorded it.
I know.
But then you need some regular conversations that aren't podcasty.
Sure. But I'll tell you, I remember, you know, being mentally preparing myself for the Seinfeld hang and all that, which was such a big deal, and I was terrified and nervous. I remember saying to myself, I'm going to go in and show him that I can hang. I want to be one of those people in life that he could talk to.
Right.
And I remember going in thinking that. We have that. We have that with other friends, you know, and I wanted him to see that I could do it. Because you don't want to be up there going, what else is going on?
Yeah. Well, there's one episode specifically of Comedians in Cars where you're like, this is brutal.
Oh, there's a couple. More than one, I think.
Brutal. Well, what I'm thinking about. By the way, Sam has texted he's a couch guy.
Thank you. The couch is there. It's too weird not to use it because it's so big.
See, I feel that way about the chair. We're talking about therapy. There's the chair that Mark can't even visualize. He's never even seen the
I
chair.
didn't even think about the chair.
There's a chair and a couch, and Sarah and I started this debate of who sits where. And Sarah thinks that men sit on the chair and women sit on the couch, but she's wrong, obviously, because you're a couch and Sam's a couch.
I'm on the edge of the couch like this, talking to him. He's like right where you are. Maybe
But that's
a
the
little further.
chair. It's closer. The chair is physically closer.
I didn't even see the chair.
You can lean in and get close, but the chair is physically closer than the couch.
All right.
And the chair's got arms, and he's in a chair, I'm in a chair. The couch is too much, and it's leather, so you just slip down. I always slide down. I've only sat on the couch once, and I went with Sarah, because she can't sit on my lap in the chair.
Right.
It'd be weird if I put her over there. I'm all chair, and the couch is 3 seats. A couch is for 3 people.
But it's to me like, I got my own row at a
Oh,
plane.
I see. I got my own, I'm in a first class seat. There's no row.
Oh, well, you're not laying down in that thing. You got no leg room.
I'm first class, baby. Well, I'll put my feet on his dick.
There you go. I bet he's packing.
Oh, for sure. The women are turned on by him.
No.
Adrian and Sarah want to fuck him because he listens.
Is that right?
It's a man listening, and he's kind of a handsome guy.
He looks
Yeah.
a bit of a ghoul.
Wow, he's 109 years old. He's very
Sure.
wise.
I guess so. Yeah, he looks like an old toucan.
I bet his cock dangles.
Oh yeah, and he wears all black. He was in a street gang in the Lower East.
A street gang?
Yeah, he was in a Jewish street gang, which is a bit of an oxymoron. You know, that sounds like maybe a bake sale or something.
It's an oxymormon. Street toughs robbed you? Street toughs. They were quite taken by it. Now, what do you think about this? I had an idea. Wait, I had something. I lost it. The couch. Oh, I was talking to him about something. He was saying we had to go to Beverly's room, his wife's room. She's a therapist next door.
Isn't it weird going in there? It's like, whoa, am I allowed?
It's big and weird. I've done it a couple times in there. And he said,
times.
we used to use this room for group therapy. And he's like, nobody does that anymore. The times have changed. But like back in the 80s and 90s, you'd have group therapy. And it wasn't a group of people that knew each other.
Interesting.
It was a bunch of people. And he goes, that was great because you could practice what I'm talking about right then and there.
In real time.
You could be like, this guy, why are you talking to me like that? I don't want people to talk to me like that. Instead of being like, when you go home, call your mother and tell her you don't want to deal. Right in the moment, he could be like, why are you letting them talk about that?
Yeah.
And he said it kind of sad. He's like, no one does it anymore. That's not the way. Because I think with phones, everything's individualized and social media, whatever. But it used to be you'd just get 9 people in there being like, my dad hates me. And he's like, maybe it's because you're a fucking loser. Well, you're a fucking piece of shit.
Yeah, I think you're right. People used to, we're social beings, and we used to congregate, and that's why cities and villages start, because you go, there's a guy over there, I want to go over there. You need to be around people, and we've really lost all that. I think that's also why comedy is getting so popular. I got to sit in a group and hear thoughts. Podcast, you want to hear? We literally have to seek out a conversation because we have so few.
Yes.
So you have to download a conversation and listen to it and go, this is pleasurable.
That's part of depression. Yeah, I'm trying to get off the phone, but every time I try, something comes up.
Yeah, it's impossible. And also, let me throw this at you, Fatty.
No, stick it right in my ass.
Well, my phone does this weird thing that I didn't even ask it to do, where it goes, this week you used 7 hours of screen time. And in my head I was like, 7 hours that is appalling. That is so embarrassing. I got to get off my phone. I got to go get a fucking hobby, take a hike. What am I doing? And then I realized, well, wait a minute. I do all my work on my phone.
Yes.
I do my emailing. I do my tweeting. I do my Instagramming, all that shit, messaging. So that's a 7-hour work week, pretty much, if you're not counting writing and travel.
But a lot of it is going through and looking at photos, too.
Yeah, that's
so you can't
true.
give it all the 7 hours.
That's true.
But Alan, our therapist, does help me with that too, where he's like, but don't you, because I'm like, I look at my phone too much, I'm an addict, it's crazy. And he's like, yeah, but don't you work on your phone? Like, I don't use my computer, ever.
Same.
I never open my computer.
Me too.
I just look at everything's on my phone. So it is emails, but the problem is every time I go to send an email, I go, let me check Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook.
Yeah, and like, oh, look at her in the bathing suit. All right, now you click on her name, and then you go look at her whole page.
See, but I don't even have that. I'm
on.
only looking at my own shit. I'm looking at my likes, my insights, my tweets, my like whatever, my favorites, and all that shit.
Yeah.
It's all the shit that I'm looking at. I get my news from the news.
Yep.
And then my comedy. I don't even consume comedy most of the time.
So you watch the news on TV?
Yeah, I'm a big news junkie. Although I've been watching less of it because I'm like, I don't want to, again, political, but this impeachment business, I'm a political junkie and a cable news junkie, and I'm tired of it. I'm like, I can't watch anymore. So I'm like, you lost me.
Right.
I'm into this.
Yeah.
Most people aren't even into it. This is like my scene. I'm into history and politics and all the shit, and I'm like, I'm done. I'm bored.
What do you think about this theory about Trump, about, like, obviously he's a wacko, and I'm not a Trump guy, but in a weird way, and hang on to your hats here.
Yeah, I'm holding.
In a weird way, he's kind of sparked something that's lit a fire under a lot of people's asses, where, like, first of all, ratings in news, like Colbert, Seth Meyers, SNL, Samantha Bee, John Oliver, way up. Everybody wants to hear about Trump. Let's talk about Trump. Let's rip apart this guy. And news stuff's gone way up, and everybody's talking about it constantly. I mean, sure, there's some heated shit going on, but it's kind of like he's so hated that it's kind of whipped us up a little bit, which we needed maybe.
A little bit.
I'm not saying he's a good guy. I'm just saying there's a factor here.
But I think it's brought out the worst in all people.
I
think it's people that are on the right are like, we got to get guns because if he gets impeached, we're going to attack. It's going to be a civil war.
Right.
And then there's like a rise in hate groups. And then the left has gotten way worse because comedians are just tweeting about serious things about Trump and they're not being as funny anymore.
That's a good point.
And then they're like, we got to go we got to kill straight white guys or the devil.
Yeah,
like you got those
right.
groups, and then you got the right people on the right being like, we got to get rid of these fucking Mexicans. And I think it's brought out, for the most part, the worst on both ends of the political spectrum. And it's just I think people want normal. I want it back to normal.
Normal would be nice.
I want a president you can just ignore. That's just kind of
All
like,
right.
oh yeah, he's some guy.
See, this is what's great about you, Sloppy Jalopy.
Oh, thanks.
I can just throw out a big, fat humdinger of a juicy question, and you have an answer. You always have an answer.
Oh, thanks. Well, I have thoughts.
That's
I have a
rare.
thoughtful guy.
Nothing worse than I don't know. What are you eating? What do you mean you don't know? Give me something.
Well, that's a bad conversationalist.
That's a bad convo.
It sucks. They're just like, I don't know. And you're like, all right, well, that was nothing.
Well, at least try. There's no trying.
There's nothing worse than when you have a topic and no one gives you anything.
Yes.
How about
Give me
this?
something.
I had this recently where people it never got thrown back to me. I put out a topic, and I want to hear. I'm not just doing it so I can give my opinion.
You don't want to be that guy.
But it went all the way around. It never came back to me.
That's
Isn't that hurtful?
Yeah,
and my
that's a bummer.
topic, here's my topic. You have a bar. This would be better if there was a bunch of people, but I'll ask you. You have a bar. You're opening a bar. You have endless money. What's your theme? What are you going with? Irish pub, Southwestern vibe,
Sure.
a cop bar, a fucking a sports bar.
Dive.
What are you going for? What's your pick? Maybe you could go nautical. You could go sailing
Yeah,
shit. Because you want a
yeah.
theme.
Right.
You don't want to be TGI Fridays with a wagon wheel and a sled and
a bowling pin and a trumpet. Yeah.
You don't want that shit.
That's a good question. I mean, it's a bit of a... Uh-oh, you got a bad text?
Hanley. So Sam Riddle said couch. Phil Hanley wrote, always chair. I cannot imagine the couch.
Wow!
How about that? So people are hard and fast on this.
This is just like the cantaloupe. People are different. People are people.
All right. So what's your bar?
Oh, I haven't... I mean, I like to have a moment to think about it, but I went to a bar in L.A. once, and it was all, like, 50s... airplane theme. I'm talking like Catch Me If You Can. What is that? Pan Am?
Yeah.
You know, with the little wings and the steward, the girls wore the little outfit, and I was like, this is pretty badass. The chairs were like metal and everything.
Interesting. I like that. The
I-
50s is nice with neon and that
Yes.
vinyl is big.
I don't know if I would do it, but I was like, this is well done, and they really nailed it. But there's a bar in the Lower East Side called Grandma's Place, and it's all it's the whole thing is crafted after your grandma's basement. Like, there's a weird floral chair, and there's old records on the wall, and like photo albums and shit, and it looks so badass.
Interesting.
It's lunch.
I'd like to check that place out.
It looks like that 70s show, like that basement.
Right,
That's
right.
what the bar looks like.
I like that.
It's like a what do you call that? A crazy orange shag carpet, and old wood and paneling. It looks so cool.
Interesting. Tweet at us. Let's get a little tweet go. Tweet at Tuesdays and the two of us, and tell us your bar idea.
Yeah, I like.
what you would go with.
I would go dive. I want the like a punk rocky, gritty, a million stickers.
Right.
I would do that. That would be my move.
But the hard thing with that is then you're creating that, and it's fake.
You got a point.
That works best when it's been there for 30 years.
Of
like
course.
Manitoba. You know that bar?
I love that bar.
That bar has like some weird stank on it. When you try to create it, it becomes tough. But
You're
I
right.
do. I see what you mean. Black and white photos of the Ramones and whatever.
Yes, yeah. What are you thinking there?
Well, I used to bartend at a firefighter cop bar, which I always said it's a great idea. I know people hate the police, but it's a great idea if you want to have a good business to make your bar a cop bar with all the patches and the things and old baton, because you get the police in your side, you're going to have no problems.
Good point.
Like I bartended at this cop bar. First of all, I was underage. They would just give me booze because they're corrupt or whatnot.
How
but
ironic.
like no one's going there. There's no gang members going there. There's not a lot of fights breaking out there. The cops will fight because they're fucking maniacs. But you're not going to have a lot of riffraff. No one that's looking to sell drugs or have trouble is going to,
Right.
let's go to that bar where all the cops hang out at.
Sure.
So, and then regular people like it too because they know there's not going to be trouble.
Yeah.
And people like civil servants and Irish. It's an Irish thing. So
And
I might
they drink.
And my family's firemen, and I got to come from this Irish firefighter. So maybe that. But that's also the most popular cliche kind of bar.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
cliche. I shouldn't say cliche, but it's a very popular kind of bar. But I also like a nautical thing with knots and sails
like
and
a
a picture of the
nautical.
Kennedy, JFK with his hair blowing back.
Yeah. he's
That
on a
kind of thing.
scooter.
That white and blue.
Yes.
I
white
like
and
a
blue.
I like a nautical.
Nautical is enjoyable. I don't want to go on the sea to save my life, but I like nautical things.
Oh, I love to see it. Like a big wheel, those steering wheels there,
yes.
and something nice like that.
Yeah, a couple of ceramic seagulls up there.
Yeah, and a picture of a big wave
Oh,
coming,
wave.
Or like a surf kind of place.
Surf, I love.
Because I love surf bars. When you go to
Love
Hawaii,
surf.
Southern California,
Yes.
those naked guys, hot, blonde
Yeah.
hair, and chicks, I
There's
guess.
a lot of dark brown wood, and then that turquoise blue
Yes.
pops on you. Yeah, I like that.
I like a surf bar, particularly in a place that's not the ocean.
yeah.
So it's a little escape. We got Jack Johnson and Jimmy Buffett going. I love those guys and that
tiki,
kind of thing.
Tiki is nothing to sneeze. I love a tiki bar, but then you get a little cuckoo with the drinks, and I'm in an Easter Island head and a straw with a fucking umbrella and a kiwi.
Yeah, because I do also want to appeal to the beer swilling plumbers and stuff.
I'm with you. You know what else isn't too shabby is a speakeasy. I mean, you get a lot of mileage just out of that secret entrance. You know, it's a phone booth or a photo booth or a diner booth.
Like Criff Dog.
John Wilkes booth. Yeah, it's just that's just a shitty hole in the wall. The place the size of a shoebox, but you go to a phone booth, it makes it all fun.
You could do that all thing where your bartenders have pinstripe suits on and a Tommy gun. The waitresses got no pants on or whatever.
Ooh, I got a good idea.
Hit me.
1920s barbershop bar.
Okay.
I'm talking you got a guy with a little white coat and he's got the little white suit on, or not suit, but the lab coat, like a barber.
Yes.
And then you got all the drinks up on the wall, you got mirrors everywhere. The bar stools are barber chairs.
I like that.
Aha.
That's fun. He's got the arm bar thing that's there for no reason.
Yes, there we go.
Okay, that's good.
That's something.
What about just a comedy bar? There's all these rock and roll bars. This one's got Carlin and Pryor, but you have to have comedy there.
Yeah, you have to.
Then people aren't as into that. All right, that's no good.
All right. You know what else I love? And now we're just getting kooky. I just love a backdoor poker room. Some guy's got a poker thing going in his apartment.
Yes.
I love that. It's just dude smoking, and there's like a fucking dealer up there. I love that. He's got the rake and everything.
I like Jimmy's Corner is like my favorite bar of all time.
That's a great bar.
If you ever come to New York, it's on 44th, it's right off of Times Square, and it's this last bastion of old New York.
Oh, yeah.
And it's in Times Square, which is crazy.
Yeah.
And Jimmy, who's an old boxing trainer, he's there all the time. He might be dead by now, but I think he's still
around.
there.
I think he trained Muhammad Ali.
Oh, yeah. And it's covered floor to ceiling. The beer prices are still cheap, and it's a hole in the wall.
Yes.
And there's like big signs saying, let's not discuss politics here. It's all over. You're not allowed to talk politics there. They'll yell at you.
That's old school.
Which is interesting, even though I like talking politics.
Yeah.
But that place is pretty magical. But that's one of those places you can't recreate.
No,
it's
no,
there.
no,
it's
no,
like
no.
that because it's been like that since 1961 or whatever.
Don't you love that old boxing gym look too? That's a
Oh,
great
yeah.
look. You got that weird machine that jiggles you. It's got the strap.
The jiggle machine. Then there's a bell there, and if you ring the bell, they make you buy a drink for everyone in there because people want to ring a bell. It's an old ringside bell, like an actually
genius.
used bell.
Yeah.
And people just want to hit it.
Yes.
And there's a sign that says, if you ring this bell, you're buying everyone a drink.
That is brilliant. That helps everybody. Everybody wins.
Occasionally, people will do it. People will go, boom, and like, set them up.
That's great.
It's fun.
I want to go back to the people. No one hangs out the group therapy thing, and I hate to say Seinfeld again, but there's a sweetness, and this reminded me of you, where he goes, I go, well, where do I go? He goes, there's one green room. Because he forces you to hang.
I like that.
How cool is that?
I like that.
This zillionaire American icon who hates paparazzi, hates all the cameras, will say no to a photo to a 90-year-old dying old lady. He goes, blow me, bitch. And he's like, but we got to hang.
It's just about being together.
About
That's
being
his
together.
thing. You got to be in there. That's like when I talked about before, I volunteered on this boat, the Clearwater, was like Pete Seeger's group that cleaned up the Hudson. And we volunteered. I stayed on this boat for 2 weeks, and we helped kids. We taught them how to sail and talked about the environment and all this shit. And then we played music. Everyone would sing songs. It was really great. It was like the best 2 weeks of my life. But they had a rule, all the crew at the boat, on the boat, when we had dinner, there was one conversation at the table only.
What?
That was the rule. It was like, we're having one conversation, which I love that rule. You can only do it if there's like 6 or less people.
Yeah, that's a lot.
We had like 9 of us, but you'd sit in a circle, and there's because that happens so often.
Yeah, you break
You start
away.
talking, and then you're talking over here, and then I'm hearing their conversation. You can't quite focus.
Yes.
And it's like, that's it. One conversation at the table.
How about that?
Yeah, we went there. I remember having this, it started right after they killed bin Laden, and they were talking, because they're very hippy-dippy, this group, and they're to my left politically, and they were like, it's crazy that we're celebrating this death of a man, because, I know it's like he did horrible things, but to celebrate someone dying is very strange, and they were making decent points about it, but I'm like, I didn't want to speak up because I'm like, I was in Times Square yesterday. Because Canner and I, when Bin Laden got killed, I was watching hockey, and my roommate, Jay, the Indian guy, who was in the World Trade Center.
The Samoan.
Yeah, he came out and was like, they just got Bin Laden. I switched the channel. I called my mother. And I remember being like, they got that son of a bitch. And Canner, as soon as he got home, I'm like, let's get in my car. We got in my car. We drove through Times Square.
Yeah.
We had Rockin' in the Free World going.
Woo!
And they had the ticker tape going. People were like, woo! And we drove all the way down to the World Trade Center. They're building the fucking new World Trade Center. And it was a huge party. People were going crazy.
Wow.
And chanting USA. And, I'm a Buddhist fucking loser, but it brought joy to me.
I get it.
And we went down there. People were showing their tits, which is a little weird. I bumped into Brian Bollinger.
Oh, yeah.
I remember him texting me being like, what's this guy's name you're with? I'm like, Jason Canner. And then afterwards, Canner was like, I'm glad he knew my name. That was nice. And I was like, he texted me.
Oh, that's awkward.
Hopefully no one tells him that. But anyways.
People coming together. That's what it is.
It was great. And then like 2 days later, I'm on this boat and I'm like, these people know how to live. And they're just like playing music and the environment. And it's like a community. And then they brought up all these points of like, how strange that your instinct is to go celebrate.
Right. No, thank you.
All set.
The housekeeping's rapping at the door.
We're good.
They never go away. No, we got it.
You hear Patrice's bit?
No.
That's one of the best bits ever.
Maybe I've heard it.
You know that bit about immigration? It's about immigration and about like they're taking our jobs. He's like, we need these people. He's like, I go to Bermuda or somewhere, some island. He's like, they have like just white people are doing the thing. They knock like this. Housekeeping. Oh, no one's there.
Yeah.
They leave. He's like, my hotel in America, you got Mexicans cleaning my room. The lady's like kicking down the door. She's like, I gotta clean your room.
Wow.
He's like, I had the chain on. She tried to slip through that space. She's like, I'm cleaning it. He's like, go away.
Yeah, that's
a great bit.
That's a great bit because it's silly and funny, but it's about a bigger issue.
Yes.
He makes it the funny, silly part stick out.
Exactly.
He was good. Whatever happened to him?
But anyways, I remember going, they were talking about like how weird that's your instinct is to celebrate. And then I'm like, maybe I shouldn't have celebrated, but I stand by that one.
Yeah, no, that's fun, and the tits are there, and Bin Laden. Yeah, come on, we're having a good time. You didn't do anything.
Well, also, and that was my natural instinct was to feel good. I'm like, fuck that guy.
Yeah,
I fucking fuck him.
Let's live it up, baby.
Because when you have so much, someone brings you so much sadness. But I do understand, and I respect these people who like someone kills their son or whatever, and then they like forgive them and they become friends with the murderer because they're like, you're a sad soul and you're lost. And I hope you. I read those stories are always in like these Buddhist books about forgiveness and stuff. And there's something because just being angry, you're drinking your own poison and all that shit.
And some people just hate death and violence. It bothers them, like no matter who it is.
Right.
You know, like my parents, for whatever it is, they're disconnected people. But when they watch a movie and somebody's getting punched, they're like, they look away. I'm like, it's a movie. This is a fake punch. They did a Foley thing where a guy punches a piece of meat in the background. You know, it's all fake. And they're like, I can't. And anything like the Casino with the bat on Joe Pesci where they slide his fat ass into that hole.
Yeah,
they would turn that off. They'd be like, this is horrible. I can't watch this.
Well, it is unpleasant.
It is, but you also want to be like, first of all, it's a movie. And then I think about comedy when people go, how could you say it? We're walking out. You made a school shooting joke. We're walking out of here. I'm like, this is all just, yuck-em-ups
We're
here.
joking.
Yeah, we're joking.
And then you watch the news.
Yes, exactly.
Those people watch the news.
I never got it.
That's confusing.
There's something about jokes. We always go back to this. Something about jokes that Louis always said people don't like is it got you. It gets you. It gets the joke wins, you lose.
Yes, interesting. That's their natural reaction, I guess. So who am I to say?
Yeah.
That's how they react.
To
That's
each
how they
his
react.
aims.
But
I want to say another thing about the Southwest.
Yeah, tell me about the Southwest.
Well, here we are. Notice we walked to Starbucks. On the walk there, we look to our left as a gas station. It's called Warrior Fuel.
Yeah.
And then you look to the right, and there's a coffee shop called Badass Coffee. The people here are just a little bit edgier. They're a little harsher because it's all about surviving.
It's harsh country out here.
Yeah, then you go up to L.A., you go up to Portland, they're like, hey, man, relax, cool out. You know, life is good. You're like, yeah, for you. You got a lush, tree-lined bank over here. But you go down here, it's fucking dirt.
Yeah, I think there's less jobs. But they got Queefy's Cupcakes up there. And a spa. Here
Voodoo
it's a little
donut.
Yeah. Here they have actual just voodoo.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's a harsh country down here. I think it's hot, it's dry, the shit's dead, and there's less jobs. And I don't know much about it's killing me that we're not out and about in New Mexico. But we only had a day and a half, and we got 2 shows. We have to do a podcast.
No car.
But yeah, Sarah's out at Meow Wolf. I kept saying Meow Mouth.
Meow Mix. Yeah, well, we're doing it up. We're hanging out. We're getting to see each other, and we're still doing 2 shows. Did a live pod, and the show last night, the stand up was killer.
That was a rocking show. Great show. Thanks for everyone that came out. People flew in for this.
Yes,
we're bumping into people in the hotel like hotcakes out here.
Yeah, we had breakfast in the hotel breakfast nook, and we see some people from the show. Then we bump into them in the hallway, and they gave us a bag of fireworks.
Yeah, we got fireworks. We got to go light them off. I have it in my hand here. It's a Soaring Spirit, which is what we have. Gold shower.
Ooh.
That'll be fun.
I've been there.
Emits showers of sparks. Use only under close adult supervision. Nah. For outdoor use only. Fuck, we were going to do it in the room. Place on level surface. Do not hold in hand. Light fuse and get away. That's going to be your job, buddy.
You got it.
So we're going to go out in the desert. And then he gave us another thing. This has got this one flies in the air.
Yeah, you light it, and it spins, so then it takes off.
It's a military satellite.
Ooh-wee.
So where do you light that? Here's a wick here.
The
I
wick. Chris Hardwick.
This side up. Okay, well, that's going to be fun. We'll go out into the woods and light some fireworks, which she said is kind of a Southwest tradition.
Yeah, which, these people are a little zippier. They got edge.
They're a bit off, yeah, if you ask me. But they were a good-looking couple, cool couple.
Oh, yeah, they're fucking.
Every
time at the time a firework blew up about an inch from my nose and my hearing went out for like 4 minutes.
No kidding.
Yeah, we were.
Did you have the?
I did.
Fun.
I had the and we were such rabid lunatic kids that one day for New Year's we just got blackout drunk, just drank a ton of vodka. I barely remember it, and I was like, "Guys, shoot me!" And I just went out into the lawn, and they were just like sitting on the porch going, "Pew pew," shooting me with fire. What do you call those? Roman candles. And whatnot.
My God!
And then one guy threw a cherry bomb and landed right at my feet, and I went, "Ah!" And it never went off. And I go, "Oh, I'm throwing it back." And I reached down to pick it up, and it popped.
Oh my God!
And it got me right in the eyes, and my face was black like Wile E. Coyote or Trudeau, and my ears went. Boo! And they were going, you could see the mouthing like, right. But you couldn't hear anything.
God, that's
out of a
scary. Cherry bomb.
Oh, they're going to say changes.
Oh, and there's also chia.
And chitty bang bang.
Yeah, there's a lot of chichas. Why is it? What's with the and choo choo train?
I think we like the chicha.
What is it with the chicha? How come there's no cook? Well, there's a cook. Okay. There's no.
There's a Cadillac.
Yeah.
You ought to know by now.
There's Baba Black Sheep, but that's different because it's Baba is what they say. Or Baba Baran also.
Oh, yeah.
Baba Black Sheep, Baba Baran.
Yeah.
Then there's My Generation.
Oh, yeah.
That was a mistake originally.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he stuttered. Daltrey stuttered, and then they kept it in there.
Hmm.
And then other bands have since done that.
Yeah, that's true.
One of my early jokes, did I ever tell you this bit? I was like, don't you hate when people claim songs as being like their song? Like, this is my song. Yeah. And I'm like, Dad, you're not bad to the bone.
Right.
You have a bad speech impediment, but that's it. Yeah. That was one of my big bits. I was 20.
I remember the song Born to Be Wild when I was a kid. It's like stuck to me. It like hit me in the soul. When I heard that. I guess I thought I was born to be wild.
That's where heavy metal comes from.
What?
Heavy metal thunder. That's the first use of heavy metal.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Look at that. Well, I love that song so much as a kid that I remember going, Dad, let me borrow the keys, and I brought a tape recorder into my dad's car and played Oldie Station and just sat there for hours hoping it would come on so I could record.
That's what is interesting. We're at this fun, weird age where we're the internet age, but we're also that age.
We got both.
I remember I went and saw Pearl Jam. They played Last Kiss for the second time. First time they played was in Philly. Then they played it a couple nights later in Boston. And we were all like, what is this weird cover? And like, this is an old song. We just wanted to hear it again.
Yeah.
Then they recorded it for like a single, a benefit, but they hadn't released it yet. So we had to wait for FM radio.
Yes.
And then you'd record it on the thing.
Yes.
Like, we got it.
Exactly. You'd spend a day doing that.
Yeah, it was fun.
It made it more special. It's like they always say, like when the Peanuts Christmas thing came on, it was like, holy shit, you were running from the other room. But now it's like, I got the DVR, I got DVD, and you never watch it.
And what's interesting now is like every song that's ever been recorded, I have Apple Music.
Yeah, right
I just
there.
plug it in and boom, it streams.
That's got to change people. There's a button on your remote to rewind TV. Isn't that insane?
Yeah.
When you really think about that, that changes a whole generation's thinking process. because you don't have to wait for anybody. You have complete control of everything.
Well, and it breaks down the community thing we've been talking about.
Yes.
Where it used to be we all watched the same thing at the same time.
Yes.
Where the whole country's watching The Wizard of Oz.
Or Ed Sullivan's show.
It's 8 o'clock on Monday, and we're all going to watch. And isn't this crazy thing about in our parents' lifetime, there wasn't VCRs.
No.
Like you saw a movie, and that was it.
That was it.
You'd have to own a film canister or hope that it came on TV occasionally.
That's so funny you say it. I rewatched Cool Hand Luke. It's on Netflix. I love that movie.
Me too.
And I asked my dad, I was like, did you see that in the theater? And he goes, yeah, you had to. And I
Right.
remember being like, oh my God, that's so blown. It blew my mind because now it's like, I saw it in the theater. It's almost a brag.
Right,
you
right.
know? And back then it was like, yeah, if you want to see Cool Hand Luke, you had to go to the movie theater.
Yeah.
What else are you going to do? Blu-ray?
Why couldn't you say 35 or 39? One of my favorite movies ever.
Oh man, don't you just you want to be Luke? Like he's so stoic and he's soft spoken, but yet he's so tough. And
Oh, that's all I wanted to be. I love that fucking movie. I love that guy when he plays Plastic Jesus and is so great.
Yeah. Dragline, I hated.
But he's fun. He won the Oscar.
I
George
know.
Kennedy.
Take it off here, boys. My boss.
Yeah, it's fun. Great film. A lot of Dennis Hopper's in there.
Yeah.
Harry Dean Stanton's in there, and
The woman cleaning the car is like unbelievably gorgeous. That
Yeah.
body was like, how did you find that woman? She's like a mythical creature.
pretty good.
Pretty good.
There's-
Just Jessica Rabbit.
There's a reference to that in The Sandlot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, remember when the what do you call it? The lifeguard is up there getting up there, and she's
yeah.
like, she knows what she's doing. She
Oh,
knows. It's directly
shit.
from Cool Hand Luke.
You're right.
It's an exact scene
never
and
caught it.
line. Yeah, isn't that fun?
She knows exactly what she's
Yeah,
doing.
she knows.
What she did.
Yes.
That's fast. Wendy Peppercorn.
Yeah, she is so hot.
Oh yeah, I like the original better.
Sandlot?
No, the original woman.
Oh, yes.
That
Yeah.
body, my God, and it was curvy. We always we like a skinny woman. Nah, curvy wins. I mean, look who's bigger, Kardashian or the other one, Paris Hilton. It's Kardashian any day.
All right, they like the curves.
You want a curve, men. Men want a curve.
like a curve.
Curveball. Oh, and I had another thing. I lost it.
Maybe you'll find it.
Oh, I got it.
Oh, great.
I'm getting better at getting it, and I think it's because I drink less.
Oh, that's good. That helps.
Yeah, drinking more really. I couldn't remember anything.
Yeah, you
but
keep that brain sharp.
yes. The community thing. When I was a young whipper douche, my brother was a Boy Scout, and so we'd go, and my dad was like a volunteer cub den pedophile, whatever it is, and he would go out with him. So we went to Albuquerque or one of these places, and all these parents are around, and the kids make knots and tomahawks and kill, spiders or whatever the hell they do, and blacks. And then at night we'd have a big bonfire and all sit together and just bullshit. And it was super weird because I'm like 8, my brother's like 12, my dad's age, and you're sitting there with all these moms you don't know and dads you don't know and cubs and teenagers you don't know, and it worked. You sit around a fire, all you got is the stars and a conversation, and
Right.
the first 20 minutes are like, how about those Mets? And then 2 hours in, we're playing charades, we're laughing, there's a headlock going,
Yeah.
there's a grab ass happening.
Well, nothing gets convo going like a fire. There's something about a fire because, again, it's spiritual. It gets the
Yes.
juices going. It's ever changing. It
Yes.
feels alive. It needs oxygen. It spreads over here. It spreads
Right.
over there. There's sparks flying off of it. It's high. It's low. It's hot. It's hot.
It's dying, fix it. You got to get some more wood. Oh, turn it
Yeah.
over, Johnson. Flip
This-
it that one.
that's-
Move that rock.
And it's very meditative because you watch a log become smoke, and then the smoke disappears, and the log is gone.
Ooh, that's good.
And the matter cannot be created or destroyed or whatever.
Yes.
And it's just fun. You watch this big, fresh log become ashes that fuel the next log.
Aha.
It's very meditative situation.
You're
I love
right.
a fire. I'm obsessed with fire.
Yeah, I love a good fire. You're a pyromaniac.
Yeah, my dick gets fiery every couple of months.
That's right. Yes, and we poke at that too. And the cool thing is the next, you all go to bed, and next day you wake up, you got a cum in your eye and blood in your asshole, and you look at that fire, it's just a bunch of wooden ash and white ash, and you're like, oh, that was the whole thing last night. Now it's just bullshit.
And sometimes it's so hot. If you have a good rock pile, you can restart the fire from those ashes.
That's right.
And then
yes.
it's back to the same fire. It's really
Yeah.
something. I love the movie Backdraft.
Ashy Larry. Yeah, good times.
I'm getting all my reflux and the smoke and the talking. It's starting to affect me.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm so glad. Like, back in the day, you're kind of like, we got to go camping with these fucking losers. And now I'm kind of glad I did all. My parents made me do all that. Even going to see my family. My dad's like, we're going to see your grandma. I was like, but I get it now. He's like, hey, you should know your family.
Hold on one second.
Uh-oh.
Here's Soder's response.
Oh, God. He's a couch guy.
He's a couch.
I knew it.
Soder's a couch. Sarah, I got everyone texting me now. Sarah's, so me and Hanley are couches, chairs.
That's interesting.
Wow, interesting.
Well, Hanley's, he's all about it's Hanley. So he wants that chair, He's like, this chair, I want one thing to hold me because I'm me.
Okay, I gotta fix this later here. This is very interesting because, again, Sarah had this big theory about the couches, but it looks like most people are couch people.
Yeah.
Hi, folks. Do you experience stress or have anxiety or chronic pain or have trouble sleeping at least once a week? You're not alone.
Mm-hmm.
Many of us do.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Well, this episode is brought to you by Feels CBD. Feels is a premium CBD delivered directly to your doorstep. What does Feels do? Feels naturally helps reduce stress, anxiety, pain, and sleeplessness. It's easy to take. Place a few drops of Feels under your tongue and feel the difference within minutes. Mark, I know you love this shit. Tell them about it.
I do. I have horrible sleep. I can't fall asleep. I can't doze off. Can't turn the brain off. I pop a few of these pups, and it's just easy breezy, Because that's really the key to falling asleep is just shutting that thinker down.
Mm-hmm.
Just those horrible thoughts, childhood, the bedwetting, you name it. And so the CBD just mellows you out, and it's not a drug. It doesn't get you high like that, but it nicely knocks you out so you can sleep calmly. So Feels has me feeling my best every day, and it can help you too. Become a member today by going to Feels.com/Tuesday, and you'll get 50% off your first order with free shipping. Good Lord. That's FEALS.com/Tuesdays to become a member and get half off automatically on your first order with free shipping. Feels.com/Tuesdays.
All right, so we're cooking now.
Yeah, baby.
I think this is cooking. Are we cooking?
We're cooking, and we got 2 shows tonight, and I feel good doing comedy in this town because, 1, you never done it here. 2, these people are coming out and they want to see us. And 3, we're a couple of New York flamethrowers, We're flaming.
We're throwing flames, all right.
Yeah, and they're like, damn, look at these fucking queefs whipping out the fire.
Yeah, that show was hot. The first show we did stand-up, and I thought it was hot. I felt like we had this, our man AJ open up, and he was really sweet as pie. He's got some jokes, too.
Yeah.
He's a funny guy. He's been at it 8 years, he said.
Yeah,
but never listened to the podcast. The whole time, I was thinking this guy was shitting his pants, being like, I'm with List and Norman here. Tuesdays with and then he was like, what's the name of your podcast? What goes on? And he did this. I tried to listen to one episode. You never want to hear the try.
Hate to hear that.
Don't you hate when people say they tried to listen?
Yeah, and I get it. Look, it's the cantaloupe. It's not for everybody.
And then we asked him to be on the show, and I felt bad because, again, he's a young whippersnapper, a sweet kid, probably a Catholic boy.
He's got a daughter.
And he's got a kid, and then we immediately went into pedophilia and rape and gays and blood and shit.
Yeah, welcome to our brain, AJ.
And he looked a little nervous, but he did a great job, and the pod was tricky. It's on the Patreon. It'll be on the Patreon. You can hear it.
Yeah.
But I was a little anxious. It was up and down. We had a lot of heckling going on.
We went dark, we went blue, and we went into the paint, as they say.
Yeah, it was a little crazy. But the stand-up show was killer show. Hot crowd. Thanks for coming. And what happened was a lot of people that were at the stand-up show came to the podcast.
Yes.
So by the end of the podcast, they had been there for 4 hours.
And that's Friday Late Show as well. That means they worked all week, and they saw 2 shows back-to-back of mostly pedophilia humor.
Yeah, so we thank you all that came up. But then afterwards, they all bought merch. They all said they loved it. They all took photos. So I got to remember a lot of the times, like this episode particularly, they may not be dying laughing, but maybe they're interested in enjoying it.
You hope. Yeah, these were good. And I got to say, from a selfish standpoint, after these corporate anal rapes I've been dealing with, I need a hot one like that. I've been taking it up the pooper dry with an ashy dong, And you go, maybe these jokes do suck. Maybe I'm not funny. So when I got a hot one and you got a hot one, it's just like, all right, these are our people. These jokes work. Blow me, you corporate stiffs.
There are people, and we appreciate you guys. And our fans are so nice. I feel like we have good fans. They bring gifts.
Oh, yeah.
One guy made pottery for us.
Yes, Harry Pottery.
He made a teacup thing. I forget what you call it, but he made it out of pottery in his own clay. He goes and gets the clay. He used to live in Brooklyn. I met two people last night that lived in one Astoria, one Brooklyn, that moved to New Mexico.
Yes.
Which is very strange. I mean, your money goes a lot for. They probably live in fucking mansions after living in Williamsburg.
And I bet they killed a kid or something. You don't come out here for legal reasons.
Yeah, maybe he was burying a kid and then discovered clay, and now he's making pottery.
Well, this is a burial ground.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, he made me a whiskey glass out of clay. Clay Aiken.
One lady, I feel bad. I don't know if she's a Tuesday or just a comedy fan, but she lived in Astoria. And she mistook me for John Fish. She was like, do you have a bit about the sushi?
Oh, wow.
And I was like, that's John Fish. But then she was like, I'm so sorry. I'm humiliated. And I was like, I don't care. It's a great bit.
Yeah.
You thought I had that great bit? It's his big bit. That's not insulting to me.
No.
We're both from Boston. We're both white guys.
It is a little bit of a bummer, though, when you're on a show with, in Tahiti and there's a guy opening for you and he's got a bit about plantar fasciitis and whatever, and they come up to you.
ISIS.
It's something about ISIS, heads cutting off, I don't know. And they come up to you and go, that plantar fasciitis bit is great.
Yeah.
You're like, that was the guy before me. He had a toe ring and a soul patch. Don't confuse us.
That sucks. And there's also something that sucks when you do a set, like usually like a 15-minute set or 10-minute set in the city, and then a comic comes up and goes, I love that bit. And they name the one bit you've been doing for 5 years. And the rest is all new. You just want someone to give you a thing of like, that new one's hot.
I know.
Like, I like that one bit.
I'm
And then
with
you're
you.
like, that's like my A closer that I just threw in there because of this.
Right.
You always want that new one to get that's good.
Yeah, that's true. When you're bombing and one joke hits and they go, that bit's great. You're like, yeah, I know. It's why it fucking hit.
Exactly.
I hate that. But, hey, to each your own and jizz in your mom.
Yeah, we should be grateful for any compliment. By the way, it's been fun. We should have done a, what do you call that? Not stop motion, time lapse. Because the entire sky has changed completely the time we've been recording this.
Yeah.
It's all overcast and it's wild.
What the hell are people doing in this town? My God.
Well, the traffic is horrific here, which is crazy. It's insane.
There's 8 people and the traffic is back to Santa Fe.
Yeah.
Also, it's kind of fun that Albuquerque is such a big part of comedy history because it Bugs Bunny. I took a left at Albuquerque.
Oh.
That's huge.
You know who's from here is Marin. Mark Marin is from here.
Oh, the one Jew out here.
Yeah.
Salty Jew.
Yeah, isn't that interesting?
Yeah. I think he's born in Jersey.
Jersey guy, moved here when he was 8, I think, something like that.
Jersey, the most condensed city.
State,
people-wise. I mean,
yeah. I love
Sorry.
New Jersey. Most underrated state.
I like it too.
Because people trash because they have the Jersey Shore and the highway's gross, but then, like, it's so beautiful. We've probably talked about this before.
Yeah, I think we have.
Springsteen. But speaking of Springsteen, every guy that walks up this dirt road, it's like a Springsteen song.
Oh, there he is.
That's the guy. Oh, wow.
That's
I was
a different
saying,
guy.
Oh, that is a different guy.
Yeah,
But
that
they
guy's
both
a little
have
fitter.
fucked up walks. Yeah, he is. I was saying this. I feel grateful. I'm like always worried about my reflux, and I'm watching like this old guy with a busted hoof, and he's fat, trying to walk up the highway.
Oh, yeah.
And he's one of those guys where he walks like his shoes are tied together.
I don't
It's
know.
like little bitty steps.
How you dealing with that? Because I eat so much garbage, and I like whiskey, and I like hot sauce, and I like dirty pussy. It's got to be tough that you're handling it very well. I mean, you talk about it all day long, but you're handling it very well.
I know. My mom almost got divorced. My wife hates me, but it's tricky. But then you just find other things that you kind of like and enjoy. And now I've been cheating, which sucks, and it sucks.
That's why she hates you.
Yeah.
Cheating.
It stinks.
How about those guys who laugh at themselves? Wouldn't you like to be a guy who can crack himself up every now and then?
Yeah, every once in a while I'll say something that I'm like, that was really funny.
Yeah, I mean, there's a big comic who I'm a huge fan of, and I think we both respect him, but he laughs at his own lines on podcasts, and he's like, and I'm like, that must be amazing. What, you can make yourself laugh? You would never need a movie again.
Yeah, I think sometimes it's a punchline indicator.
Oh.
Like, I need a joke, so that's why I'm laughing.
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mostly hate myself, though.
Yeah, same. I say anything, and I'm bracing myself like, oh, they probably hated that.
I feel that way, too. Most of the podcast, I'm thinking about things I said earlier in the podcast. And then I think about all the people that I know listen. I think of each one of them individually responding to what I say.
All the time.
I'm like, Tom Takar hated that, and fucking
Yes, I do the
whoever
same
else.
thing.
Yeah, I'm like, Sean Sullivan didn't think that was funny, and whoever. I'm like, I'm just thinking about these people, and I'm like, they're gonna hate me.
That's why those Brooklyn rooms are so tough sometimes, because I'm like, you thought that was dumb. You saw right through that. I'm looking at a guy with glasses and a weird haircut, and I'm like, oh, you know what I'm doing. You think I'm a hack, and I lose it.
But I think about that way with the Tuesdays crowd too, where I'm like, I'm doing a bit that I came up with on the podcast, and they're like, I know what this is about, and you're like, shit.
But I'll tell you, once you get over that and stop, because they say overthinking is the cause of depression, and once you can just go, kiss my ass, overthinking, it's a great life.
Yeah.
And I have waves of it where because it always comes creeping back where I overthink. And the Seinfeld night, I wanted to kill myself. I would have put a hot poker in my own asshole if I could. But if you just go, it's not as big of a deal as you think. Tom Takar's going, what are you talking about again? I don't know. I never even noticed he said that.
Yeah, well, a lot of these people are in their heads too.
Yes.
Tom Takar's probably like, I didn't know you knew that I listened.
Yes. And that's why you get the certain people with the good conversations. You need a guy on your wavelength or a gal.
Right.
That brings it all back around.
That's what's great about comedy.
Yes.
Is you meet comics that think somewhat like-minded.
Yes, exactly. Which is also why these people who come in here and go, you can't joke about that. You're like, oh, wait, you're breaking the whole system up. We had this like-minded thing, and now you're throwing a wrench in the gears.
Well, that's another time I'm overthinking now is when you bump into, because we say all this stuff in podcast, you don't know who's listening but isn't saying they listen. Because then I'm worried you bump into someone like one of these woker people, and they're like, I'm talking to them, and I'm like, it's going well, but I'm afraid they're like, I heard what you said.
Yeah.
You said fucking fag or whatever the hell, and I'm like, they hate me.
I heard the greatest point, this kid Rob, I don't know if it's the greatest point, but it was a great point that
Probably
I haven't
not.
heard yet. What's that?
There's no way Rob has the greatest point.
Well, it was a great point, not greatest, but I hadn't thought of it, and I never heard anyone else say it, and it blew my mind. He goes, everyone judges you on your material. You make a gay joke, and they go, what are you, homophobic? I heard that joke. I heard your act. And you go, well, it's my act. If we're going off of acts, then Bill Cosby's the nicest guy on the planet.
Right. Good point.
His act is obviously just bullshit, because he's a rapist.
It's an act.
It's an act.
We're acting.
Yes, and so you going off my act is basically going like, yeah, you're trying to find something. If you're going off my act, you got to go off his act.
Right.
Because if you want to be consistent, that's the only way to do it. So then he's a saint.
Yes, and that I always feel that way too, where I'm like, a lot of these people, that the wokish people that are like, you can't say that, and that's bullshit. If we talked politics in theory, we'd probably agree emotionally.
Yes.
But that's not funny.
Right.
If I'm like, wow, these people have suffered greatly, and I'm like, what's so funny about that?
Yeah.
It's funny to be like, I hope he dies. Fuck that guy.
Well, you know what it is?
He's in a wheelchair. He should get up and walk. This lazy asshole in a wheelchair. People are like, that's horrible. I'm like, well, I'm kidding.
Well, yeah, it's all those agreement comics. They suck. They can't get a guffaw, a chuckle, a tee-hee. So they got to go, hey, we think Trump's a lunatic. They go, yeah, that ain't comedy. That ain't skill.
I'm like, yeah, let's have a conversation about privilege. We'll be on the same page.
Yes.
For the most part.
It's called a comedy club. There's a sign on the building.
No, I'm joking. You serious? No, I'm joking.
Yeah.
Does everything have to be so jokey? I'm a comedian.
I had a guy on. I posted a video on Instagram, as you do, of some fucking joke, and some guy goes, "Oh my God, are you serious?" Like meaning like, "Fuck this guy. This is offensive." Like, are you seriously? You think that? And I wrote, "No, I'm a comedian," and he wrote back, "Oh right." Which was nice.
Right.
Because you're like, yeah, I'm a comic, you fucking retard. Get out of here.
Well, that's part of it, and this is what Louis is always talking about, is this is the problem with comics posting so serious all the time. It's because people don't say, here's a serious tweet and here's a joke tweet. So comedians keep saying serious tweets. Now it feels like, okay, comedians are tweeting serious stuff. So when we tweet a joke, people are like, is this a statement?
Right.
You're like, no, I'm joking.
I stick
That's
with
Twitter.
the jokes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's the problem with fucking every tweet being like, Trump's a misogynist, whatever. And again, I'm like, I completely agree, but it's like, you're a comic on Twitter.
Yes.
You should throw some jokes out there.
Exactly.
And I'm like, can't you quietly give money to a candidate and then talk in private to people and be like, this is the candidate you should be voting for?
Right.
Which I think that's something. I try to keep them separate because this is my job to be funny.
Yes, exactly. You're working. And it's the same with some corporate stiff suit guy who goes, I can't go on social media and make a pedophile joke because I'll get fired. It's the opposite with us because they're on the clock at work making pedophile jokes, whereas we're on the clock at work making pedophile jokes because that's our job.
Right.
Does that make sense?
It makes sense.
All right.
Well, that's the thing. People are like, you have a responsibility to do this. I'm like, I have a responsibility to be funny.
Of course.
And for people to enjoy listening to me.
And it's mean to go out there and not be funny because people are paying money they earn to get a laugh, and you're not giving it to them.
It's rude.
It's rude and selfish, might I add. But speaking of fish, how about those dicks?
Oh, those dick fish. Those were fun.
Yeah.
But this is New Year's Eve now. It's past.
Oh.
People don't even remember what you're talking about now.
Sorry.
Everything moves quick.
Yeah.
By the way, Happy New Year. We got to kind of wrap it up here. My throat hurts.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm hungry.
At 1 hour.
But, boy, what a strange episode this was.
I feel like we took some peyote and just people got a sneak peek on our little mental mind trip.
Yeah, it got weird. And it's New Year's Eve, so I don't know if you're probably not listening to this today. Maybe you're listening to it on New Year's Day. But New Year's Eve, you don't hang out till night, so maybe they'll listen to it in the morning.
True. Where are you going to be? I'm at San Francisco Punchline, so we got to figure out a recording because I'm there the 2nd.
Yeah, we might have to do a phone call thing or something.
People hate the phoner.
I know, but we're going to have to figure it out. People email us with how a few people have sent us a thing. Email maybe Shelby or tweet at Shelby.
Yes, classic Shelby.
How you do, because people have told me if we each talk on the phone, but we each record our end on a Zoom like this, you can splice them together and it's not that hard.
Right.
That sounds hard.
Some trick. Also, if we Skype, that kind of counts as video. I don't know if people want to see up our noses for an hour, but it's something.
Yeah, people do it. I just listened to a Tim Ferriss podcast. He was talking to a guy all Skype, and the sound's a little weird, but first of all, don't be such cunts. Like, I listened to it, within 30 seconds you adjust, and you're like, all right, that sounds normal.
Right.
So we'll figure something out, but Happy New Year 2019. Crazy year.
What a year. Career-wise, politically, news-wise, everything was kooky.
There's a while. And end of a decade. It's not getting any attention.
Ooh.
This is the last day of a decade.
Wow, that flew, huh?
Because it's like the aughts or the teens, I guess.
Teens, yeah, we're back in the teens.
So it's weird. This is a whole decade.
Epstein.
And end of a decade. This is the first full decade I lived in New York City.
Ooh.
Interesting. Here's a New Year's fart. Oh, it was nothing. It was a little. Oh, it's a little nothing. Little bubbles like this. Like.
I hate a bubble. You know.
Oh.
Was that it?
Yeah, that was weird.
You know what's weird is my gal likes when I fart because she feels more girly.
Interesting.
Isn't that a weird little blip into the mind of a woman?
Well, why don't you hit her and take a shit on her chest? I mean, isn't that like
a
manly thing?
I think there's degrees, but I think I'm with you. I hear you on the logic part, but I think
it's logical to hit her and take a shit on her chest.
It is. I mean, if you're going off of a logical scale of like, okay, you like this, why wouldn't you like it up 10 degrees?
Yeah, like if she likes a fart, she should want to watch you take a big log, download a huge shit.
Well, it's like when these cum-guzzling corporates go, we want you to be edgy. That means fart into a mic. That doesn't mean talk about anal rape.
Right. But anywho, end of a decade, hell of a decade. And thanks for listening. Oh, yeah, I don't even know my dates because I don't have my calendar with me. But I got Madison coming up in a couple weeks. Comedy on State in Madison. I think it's January something. I'll put it on my website or Google it. Look at their website. And then I'm coming to the Omaha Funny Bone.
Oh.
We got Skankfest coming up. We got Vegas.
Yes.
We're doing Vegas again. Me, Mark, Veter, Vecchione.
Maybe Ari.
Possibly Ari. That's going to be March 30th through April 5th, I think.
Yep.
Come out to Vegas, Comedy Cellar Vegas. And I'm going to be recording my album soon at the Village Underground. I don't know the date exactly. It might change. So,
oh, that's exciting. Sell that out, people.
Yeah, I'm hoping. And, check us out on Instagram. Like the videos. Comment on the videos. Go to the YouTube. Subscribe to that. Give us nice comments to get it up the algorithm. And keep supporting us. We really appreciate it. And have a great, safe New Year's Eve.
Here. Well said there, Chubbs.
Thanks.
I'm going to be all over the road. My agent's been doing a lot of blows, so she's really up the ante here. I'm doing a one-nighter in Omaha coming up. It's all on my website. One-nighter in Kansas City. I think I'm going to Wichita. I'm going to Des Moines Funny Bone.
I love that
I'm
one.
going to Vancouver. I'm going to Toronto. I'm going to Chicago in May, St. Louis, Tampa. Some other stuff. It's all on the website. I'm sorry. I'm blanking. I'm gay.
I know. I
So-
stink at this.
So, yeah, tune in. Tell a friend. Get on the Patreon for the live eps. T-shirt at Podcast Merch. I've got shirts on my website. And, yeah, follow us on the grams. Yell at Chipotle. Get Joe a Starbucks card. And Uber's always fun. We'll see you in hell. Happy holidays. Praise Allah. Happy Kwanzaa.